Namaste dosto, welcome to my YouTube channel called IVD Manufacturing. So I bought a lecture on a topic called Chapter 2 Regulation of Medical Devices as per Indian MDR 2017. Let's go deep into the lecture. So we'll talk about the classification of the medical devices and the IVD as per Indian MDR 2017. So my friends, there are mainly 4 types of the medical devices which falls under the medical device. I mean in terms of the classification. What are those class? Class A, B, C and D. When I say class A contains those medical devices which possess a low risk. Class B, a low moderate risk. Class C, moderate high risk, whereas class D, a high risk. Right? Whereas the in vitro diagnostic medical devices shall be classified on the basis of parameters specified in part 2 of first schedule in following clauses. So my friends, whenever we do the classification of medical devices or IVD, those are mainly differ in terms of part 1 and part 2 of the first schedule. So part 1 belongs to the medical devices, whereas part 2 belongs to the IVD. So even IVD also falls under similar kind of definition, class A, B, C and D, which is similar to the medical devices. Point number 3. The CLA shall classify the medical devices referred to in Rule 2 based on the intended use of the devices and other parameters specified in first schedule. So the classification mainly depends upon the intended use and the criticality of the medical devices which will be used against the user. 4. Based on the classification referred to in sub-rule 3, class-wise list of medical devices shall be published on the website of the Central Drug Standard Control Organization. Right? So, based on the classification, it is the duty or the responsibility of the CDSCO to classify the existing medical devices or the IVD based on the intended use or the criticality. 5. Medical device grouping. Any person who intends to apply for the grant of license in respect of a medical devices for the import, manufacture for sale or distribution, sale, stock, exhibit or offer for the sale, may group all or any medical in accordance with the guidelines issued from time to time by the Ministry of Health and the Family Welfare in the central government. So I hope this is clear, my friends. Point number 6. Essential principle for the manufacturing medical devices. As I have told earlier, that whatever the medical devices which is meant for the intended use, those should comply with the essential principle of performance and safety of the medical devices. Right? So this is simple to understand. 7. Product standard for the medical devices. So we are going to talk about what are the various standards which are applicable on the medical devices. Right? So the medical devices shall conform to the standard laid down in the Bureau of Indian Standards established under Section 3 of Bureau of Indian Standards Act 1985 or may be notified by the Ministry of Health and the Family Welfare. So my friends, I have already published a series of lectures on the standards of the IVD products. You can go through those of the lecture and you can understand what are the standards which will be applicable for my medical devices or for my own product. The link will be provided in the description below. So I hope you must have enjoyed my today's lecture. Please do like, comment and share in a valuable network. Till then, take care. Bye bye.